This is the 2021 Pouilly-Fume from Villebois in the Loire Valley. You guys, if you are someone that has always been like, I want to know where the good deals are, like what do the Soms drink? Like, what do they drink when they get home from work? This is where we're giving you the scoop on all the smart buys from iconic regions. So, Soms, when I was a Som, I didn't have a ton of money to be spending on wine, but I wanted to drink wines that were, from great places, right? You want to drink good producers. You want to drink from the regions that you might be selling on the floor, but like we can't always afford those, right? Especially in places like Burgundy and the Loire Valley. And though the Loire Valley, I think, is one of the more price sensitive places in France, you can still spend a fortune, especially when we're talking about wines like Sancerre. And so instead of Sancerre, which is delicious, nothing wrong with Sancerre, we've definitely had fun with Sancerre, we looked at places like Pouilly-Fume that are just around the corner that give you all the great things that we love about Sancerre, but usually at a slight fraction of the price. And that's what we have here today. So 100% Sauvignon Blanc coming from Pouilly-Fume. And if you are not a Sauvignon Blanc fan, I think this is a wine that might actually change your mind, because I actually am not the biggest Sauvignon Blanc fan. I think I've said this on the podcast before. But wines like this, they tend to make me question myself a little bit. All right, 2021 Pouilly-Fume. Woo! Man, if that doesn't make you fall in love, I don't know what does. Oh, this is so special, you guys. Listen, I'm recording this video and I'm doing this in real time, but I have to tell you, it's giving me all the feels, right? Like I stick my nose in this glass and I'm like, that's why we do what we do, because wines can smell like this. This to me is all the things that you want in a delicious white wine, right? It's floral, it's waxy, it's fruity, it's flinty, it's minerally, it's all the things, like jam-packed, right? And when I think about wine, when I think about the great wines of the world, there's so much going on that you're immediately overwhelmed by what's happening in the glass. And that's exactly what's happening here. I should also mention that is a great sign that the wine is really, really well made and from a great, great region, which this one, of course, is. Honestly, I think if I were blinding this wine, I might have a hard time nailing down Sauvignon Blanc, because this is one of the most complex, intricate Sauvignon Blancs on the planet. And I think when we think about Sauvignon Blanc, it can be a little bit more one note, especially from lesser producers, lesser regions. But when it is done so well like this, it can be super special and nuanced and have all these different complexities going on, which this one definitely has. All right, so let's talk about this particular wine. So I already waxed poetic about the nose, right? So much going on here, super textbook Pouilly-Fume. And I think for me, like Sancerre, delicious all day long. I'm here for it. But Pouilly-Fume just really over delivers. And I think this is a great example of why. Already, I can't get enough of this nose. I can't wait to get into what's going on in the palate. It's refreshing, but still has a really great richness to it. To me, this is a wine that you can take all the way through dinner, especially if you've got all this great seafood and spring flavors going on. Spring is really Sauvignon Blanc territory, right? When your green stuff starts coming to season, your peas, your rams, avocados, all that stuff starts coming to season, that's where Sauvignon Blanc really tends to shine. The issue with Sauvignon Blanc is it's often not big enough to go with some of your richer proteins. So if you are starting to incorporate all that great fish, even chicken, lighter proteins, this is where Sauvignon Blanc can really have a moment. And this is a great example of a wine that can take you all the way through. You'll notice it still has all the things that we love about Sauvignon Blanc, right? So it has all that great citrus, but there's a lot of different families of citrus going on. You've got mandarin, you've got pineapple, you've got a little guava, you've got your Meyer lemon. But then you also have like this really interesting, like flinty, minerally, wet rock thing going on too. That's sort of like sitting over top of these fresh white flowers. It's super layered. It's super intricate. And as much as I want to call this a rich wine, I can't, right? Because it's so lifted and it is so delicate that it can hardly be labeled as something as big and boisterous as something like a very rich Chardonnay. It's not. This is a wine that is still very light on its feet, but it has so much flavor intensity that it almost like tricks your brain into thinking that it's a fuller bodied wine than it actually is. I hope you're having as much fun as I am smelling and tasting this wine because it's such a treat to sit here and enjoy it. I'm going to leave it there and I encourage you to watch or listen to this entire episode because we're not only going to be talking about Pouilly-Fume, we're going to be talking about other regions in these iconic places that you can get these really smart buys from. So we're going to have a lot of fun giving you all of our secrets, spilling the tea and talking about not only Pouilly-Fume but a few other places that I am particularly fond of, as well as some of my friends are going to be on the episode with me. Cheers to you all, and I hope to see you in podcast land. Bye.